So in this music video for Tension, you have the real Kylie, you have the fake Kylie, and then you have the third Kylie. But the third Kylie is not real or fake. The third Kylie is the Kylie of the people, what she means to her fans. And so when I was watching this video, another video by Kylie came up called Padam, a reaction video, and YouTube is so shady that they basically confirmed my theory about the meaning of tension while I was watching the Padam Padam reaction. And I've got a clip to show you what I'm saying. So the real Kylie is the one that's wearing the reddish pinkish outfit with the grape colored hat. That's the real Kylie. The fake Kylie is the robo Kylie, the one wearing the black with the tied up hair, like very, very evil looking. Now, if you've seen Kylie throughout her career, you know she never ever does evil shit. She always does this romantic, very lovey-dovey type of music and image. So when you see her playing this evil character, it's not her, it's someone else. And I think we all know who that someone else is, because if you read the lyrics, she's talking about someone imitating her, someone trying to be her, and that she's an escape and she's a vacation. And so you really see this play out in the story, this battle. And I was watching a few people reacting to the video and they didn't understand what was going on. Someone even looked at the video and said, "Oh, it's Kylie fighting Kylie." And I'm like, yeah, that's what's happening. That's literally what she's telling you. So let's look at the deeper meaning of the video. Now, I love the video, great visuals, very good storyline. And I'm lucky because I studied film semiotics. That's what I have a degree in, which is essentially the psychology of images. So let's break it down. So this video is in the style of surrealism. Surrealism is an artistic style where it's not about reality or realism. It's about dream-like imagery, kind of like Alice in Wonderland. And that's something that they played with a lot in this video, Alice in Wonderland, because you see the very first establishing shot of Kylie coming into the small little hut shack with lights on it. But when she goes inside, it's much bigger on the inside than it is on the outside. So clearly that's a hallmark of surrealism. So in the establishing shot, we know that she's the real Kylie because the establishing shot matches the closing shot. That shows us that there is a connection between those two Kylies. It's the journey of the singer who's giving us this song that we are following. She's the main character. Now, some of you are going to say, but wait, in the very first shot of the video, you see this red room with the evil Kylie in there. We'll get there. So the first shot, the real first shot, is Kylie walking into the room. That is bigger on the inside. Then we see the second character, which is the antagonist, because at the beginning of every story, you have to introduce all the characters that are in the story. So we see the real Kylie, then we see the antagonist or the evil Kylie in this huge control room, trying to control the situation with all these reality TVs in front of her, spying on Kylie, trying to get in her head. Then you see immediately after that the third character, which, like I said, is not exactly a real character. It's kind of Kylie's intellectual property, the real Kylie. It's what she means to us, her image. And that's the woman in the screen that has that glittery gold outfit on. So it's kind of like Alice in Wonderland when she goes into the looking glass and then she's tiny and everything is huge around her. So you see the evil Kylie trying to control the real Kylie when she sits down in front of the mirror. Now, what do we know about mirrors in movies? Whenever you see a mirror in a movie, it is talking about an identity crisis or a fight over identity. And what is the identity crisis in the Tension music video? It's Kylie, the real Kylie, fighting over her identity, which is the Kylie in the glittery dress. The real Kylie is fighting the evil Kylie for control over her own intellectual property, her own name. And so you see the fake Kylie with all these these reality TV screens spying. And there are some very interesting images on that screen. You should look at those. Now, the diamond is the important image because that's the image on the cover that the real Kylie is holding and looking through. So remember we talked about Alice in Wonderland and Through the Looking Glass? Well, Kylie is doing Through the Diamond. And the diamond could mean several things. And the main thing that I think it means, based on the semiotics she's given us, diamonds are formed under pressure. You see that diamond on the screen, right? With the evil Kylie. It never changes because that's the only constant. But the other screens in the beginning, you see that the fake Kylie is trying to control them. She's spying through the mirror, trying to trick the real Kylie or take control over her identity. And then brilliantly, when the chorus breaks out, you see the real Kylie shove off and push herself out of out of the way, out of the way of the mirror. And then the evil Kylie gets angry and she slaps the microphone away because her commands are not working. And that's what they're trying to do to the real Kylie. They're trying to tell her, you can't have your name. This is my name. And she's like, no, I was born way before. It's my name. It's my business. Then we have our third character now, and she steps out of the screen. So now her stepping out of the screen is symbolic of the fact that Kylie's career, her work, her catalog of work is why she's the real Kylie. And that's what she's really saying in the song. She even does a dance move where she goes tension and she does this and scrunches her face. Later on in the video, that'll come up again. But anyway, you have the Kylie's intellectual property coming out of the TV. And you have the real Kylie who's tiny compared to her work because she's done a lot of work. She's done a diamond's anniversary worth of work for someone so tiny. And if you notice, the small Kylie, the real Kylie, is dancing and the big Kylie is mimicking her dance moves. The real Kylie has control over her intellectual property, over her image, her identity, this thing that the real Kylie and the evil Kylie are fighting over. Can you see the surreal Alice in Wonderland themes setting in yet? Okay, so then we go to the famous scene in the hallway. This is when I felt that it became quite obvious what was going on in the video. So you have the fake Kylie coming out with these robotic dance moves, and she's walking in a hallway, not made of mirrors, made of televisions. Hello, who do we know comes from televisions? Okay, and then you get Kylie, the real Kylie, walking the opposite direction. And then the exchange that they share, that they have between each other, gives you the point of the song. The evil Kylie says, you're an escape, and the fake Kylie says, so many Kylies. The fake Kylie says, you're an escape. The real Kylie's like, you're a vacation. So already there, they are telling you that this is an identity crisis. It's a fight over two people named Kylie. One dresses a certain way, which YouTube showed me and I showed you. And then the other one dresses in that romantic pink floral red color that she always does, right? With the nice loose hair, free-spirited Kylie that we all know. Okay. So after they walk down the hallway, they go to the table. Now, this is the interesting part. The table, if you look at the bottom, it has this thing that not even the legs, the structure that the table is standing on. And the structure is kind of like pipes, but it's shaped like a dumbbell, right? Dumbbell, power. So that's the power table. That's where all the deals happen. It's probably the legal office. I wouldn't be surprised if this actually happened. But it's the legal negotiation table, and they're sitting facing each other on a table that is showing their reflection. Now, again, whenever you have characters sitting oppositionally to each other, that is a very aggressive position. So it's clearly showing these two people are fighting against each other. And so they keep talking and talking and negotiating this struggle. And then the robo Kylie does this, and a teeny tiny Kylie in the showgirl costume is dancing on her hand. So obviously the fake Kylie is saying, "Oh, but you're nothing. You're just a small singer. I'm more famous. I have all these TVs. Can't you see?" And then I just had to take a minute when I saw that. I was like, oh, did that really happen? Do you think they went to a lawyer, and the fake Kylie was like, "You're nobody. Look, you're just dancing on my little hand from 2005. Like, who are you?" From the Showgirl tour. But then the real Kylie isn't phased. You see her smiling and laughing the whole time, like whatever. So then she pops up the small Kylie on the table, again mirroring what happened in the first act of the video when she was dancing and the big Kylie was dancing with her, showing that real Kylie's in control of this third character. Now the character in the showgirl outfit is the same character as the one in the sparkly dress. They all represent her public image. So then the small Kylie's dancing on the table, and the real Kylie is laughing because she's controlling it. Not the evil Kylie, her. And then she looks at it and she claps her hands, and poof, just like that, the small Kylie disappears or transforms into the huge Kylie. So we have evil who stands on the table. And the best part is when the big Kylie stands on the table, and as soon as the big Kylie comes up, the evil Kylie stands up, walks away, and disappears. Like poof, gone. How much more clear do you want them to make it? It's literally in your face. So essentially what they're saying is, the evil Kylie said, "You're a nobody," at the negotiating table, came to the real Kylie and said, "You're a nobody, look, you're tiny." Then the real Kylie said, "Okay, that's what I did before, but look, I'm Kylie, I'm still doing it." And then the big Kylie comes up, and then the negotiations, obvious. I think Kylie won. In real life, Kylie won because I heard they had this fight before and she won the first time, but now I heard they're having the fight again. So then you see the fake Kylie disappear, poof. So obviously this whole video is surreal. The only real Kylie is the one in pink, because the other one, the robo Kylie, just disappeared. Humans don't just disappear. Real humans. So no shade, no shade, no shade, no. So you get the Kylie disappear, and then the big Kylie's dancing, and Kylie's like, "Yeah, I've been doing this forever. I'm winning. I'm controlling the show." But then another fake Kylie comes, because there's like 10 of those people. They keep coming back again and again and again. They can't stop. So then the real Kylie now is like, "Okay, I'm done with this. I think this is over." And you start seeing the big Kylie, like the third character Kylie, which is the public image of Kylie, starts infecting the whole world that we're in. So you see the evil Kylie trying to control the machines, but then look at the screens again, because now the things on the screens have changed. It went from the fake Kylie spying on the real Kylie to Kylie's career image, the girl in the sparkly dress. I'll call her career Kylie. So it went from fake Kylie spying on real Kylie to Korea Kylie infecting the computers with her system, to a point where the fake Kylie loses control of the whole gadgets. The whole system just, like, she can't handle it. And so if you look at the third act of the video, the climax, it's kind of chaotic because Kylie, the real Kylie's career has infected the entire environment that we're in. Because now the shiny Kylie, Korea Kylie, is everywhere. She's like multiplied times 10. She's taking over the control room. She's out of the TV in the control room, standing on the control pad while taking over the screens. And guess what hasn't changed on the screen? The diamond, the consistent part, the part that fake Kylie is trying to control, that she can't control, while trying to control real Kylie's image. So the virus takes over. I call it a virus, but the truth, facts, whatever, take over that real Kylie's career. That is such a tongue twister. Real Kylie's career is so strong, it takes over the whole place. And the Robo Kylie freaks out and she starts doing these weird dance moves like, I'm freaking out. Oh my gosh. That's how you freak out in the evil land. And then you have the best parts. Well, not the best part, but the fulfillment. See, this is what I love, what I said in my last video about people not giving us a fulfillment. When you take someone on a story, you're making a promise to them that you're going to give them a payoff. You're setting up a story, you're developing and expanding on it, and then you're promising us a payoff. And so with this video, there is a payoff at the end. When you see the real Kylie walk out of that shack, that fancy shack, and this time she has no hat, she has no scarf. This was like literally a whole 2 semesters in my degree course. Like we had to, insane, we had to develop and like plan how we develop this. We had to explain some of the concepts in addition to the thick book, explain why this fabric actually represents their journey, and then this is my favorite journey, and this is your journey at the end. So I go back and see people really think, and how you go that and start feeling naive with little bit. I don't know. And then at the end, she has her hat off, there's no scarf, there's no purse, she's just dancing out the door like, I'm done with that BS in Hollywood, bye. And just to nail it in further, to make sure that you get it, you see the sparkly Korea Kylie metamorphosized in Kylie. She's in her, and they do that shot where it blends the two. So you realize that, oh, so the big Kylie on the screen in the video is actually this is all happening in her mind, because the real Kylie is her. She's her. They are superimposed on each other to show you that it's one and the same person, and this whole thing we've been experiencing is in her mind, which goes back to the mirror scene, which tells us when we see mirrors that we are doing an identity crisis. It's your identity. And so then the fake Kylie, in the context of the video, she's not being mean, because Kylie Minogue would never be mean. She would never. She's a nice person in the world. So she's saying this fight, this is the story, and she's saying herself. We don't know the allegory, but in 100%. So you can say that I think Kylie is, she's a little bit of Kylie, she's a little bit of she's doing it, but it's quite very, and very mean, which was something, so I'm fucking and because you say what you were saying, so I understand why you so I think also thank you to people, thank you people, making that we can find out. And the fact that a lot of people don't understand what's going on is good in a way, because she's not coming off as entirely, aggressive. It's not aggressive. The focus is more, which proves her point, because the focus is on the song and on Korea Kylie, on that sparkle. That's the thing that will make her win, because you cannot fight that, and you see it with the reaction. It's kind of like when Madonna did the Give Me All Your Loving video. That video, I could go on for days on the semiotics in there. Perfecto. from the baby. You know who the baby is in that video, right? I mean, that's that was expertly, and nobody understood. Everyone was like, "Why does Madonna have a baby? What is she? Why is she pushing a pram?" Because you know who the pram is about, obviously. Suckling on her teeth. I mean, come on, she made it. I mean, this is why one of the reasons I did start at Scribblebytes, because I think it's important for people to have visual literacy. If I'm making movies and art, you need to learn how to read it. When I started looking at Picasso, I had no idea what that was. I was like, that's insane. What is Picasso doing? But then when I actually studied Picasso, I was like, and the whole Cubism movement, art movement, it made so much sense. And now when I look at Cubism and Cubist art, whatever, I just get it and I feel it so much more. And I think that's something that everybody should have. It shouldn't be some elitist thing that, oh, only some people can appreciate art. Everyone should be able to appreciate art because it's accessible. And no matter what your circumstances, you can watch something and you can feel good about life, about living, about creativity and creation. And so with Scribblebytes, I'm always telling you guys, scribble, because I'm showing you the draft so that you see how ideas, creativity goes from conception to concretization, how we go from a concept to a concrete product. So I'm scribbling on the internet and I'm showing you all of my uploads, how I build characters, how I build storylines, and I'm not telling you this is how you do it. No, I just do it in front of you and then you see it. And obviously I'm dressed in the night game uniform. It's like, that's another example. Okay, so this shirt is, I only wear it when I do night game. Night game is an alternate reality game on my channel, and it uses psychology, and it's just a fun game. You use it to escape. It's for escapism, and it's a conceptual piece of art that you need to experience to understand, because it is, conceptual, so you need to participate in it. And so on the screen right now, I'm showing you the details on how to do that. So just look at that and listen at the same time. So anyway, when I was doing Night Game, my inspiration was Kylie Minogue, Impossible Princess. Now, I wasn't really that much into Kylie Minogue, but after I did my research, I knew who she was, obviously. But after I did my research, which I talk about in other videos, and I published it online, go look it up, 60 pages. Some people like to read, I'm told. And so after that research, I modeled my character after a 90s vaporwave aesthetic. Because in the 90s, there was this huge promise of what technology was gonna be. And people were talking about VR and AR way back in 95. I love history. I love doing my research based on the core principles of technologies. And now we have AR and cell phones and whatever, but back then I wanted to capture what people were thinking it was going to be back then. So I made this whole game, and it was basically this 90s aesthetic. I wanted like the Memphis style and mid 90s graphics. So if you go onto Night Game and you play the game, it has this very 90s, mid 90s, early to mid 90s look. And these are the colors I wore. If you go onto my Instagram, I have a whole photo set in the highlight section which explains why I wore the clothes I wore in Night Game, why I chose the fabric I chose, why I chose the socks, why I had certain jewelry. It goes all into detail, all based on history, and why I wear stripes. So I was inspired to do this character look based on my research and then looking up what was big in the 90s, mid 90s, and Kylie Minogue's Impossible Princess came up in my research. And I was like, oh, I like that aesthetic because she was dealing with the same kind of themes of technology and kind of like selling your soul as an image and loneliness or technophobia and isolation. And that's what had come up in my research. So I was like, I'm gonna let myself be inspired by that imagery, pay homage to her and the photographer who took the pictures. Can't pronounce his name, but it'll be in the description box. Said now, it's French. Said nuit, maybe. Who took the photographs. And so on the screen right now, you can see I'm dressed and styled like Kylie, because the semiotics for that were perfect. In these pictures, you see this rainbow-ish kind of wave going around us. That is a representation of the screen, the digital screen. She's in the screen. We're in the screen, and that's what I'm doing now. I'm literally in your screen. But that artwork is a conceptual representation of what it means to be in a screen. Because I don't know where you're watching this. You could be on the toilet, you could be in bed, you could be anywhere. And so but I'm there in your screen. So there's a connection, but there's also an isolation, and that's why I have stripes. There's a connection, the light colored part, and there's an isolation, the shadows. And in Night Game, I did that with the photography where I had shadows and light and shadows and light in how I set up the lighting design. So semiotics goes through every single thing you see in an image and encodes it with the core themes or the binary themes that you're dealing with. And so in the music video for Kylie Minogue, the theme binaries was fake Kylie versus real Kylie, and real Kylie won. And in Night Game, it was loneliness versus, or loss of innocence versus corruption, fear of intimacy versus vulnerability. It's all in the research papers because I did like 500 other characters, so you go read it up. But yeah, whenever I wear this hat, you know that I'm doing acting work. I'm doing Charlie Manor. That's the Charlie Manor character. So I still encode my videos the same way Kylie's been encoding her stuff for years, and all the other artists. And that's what makes popular art fun, or pop art fun, is when the artist actually has a background in art and they know what they're doing, because then it makes it enjoyable and fulfilling to watch. And even if you don't know what's going on, you still come away feeling full. I call it intellectually, spiritually full or satiated, where sometimes you watch something and you just feel like, I needed something else. And then other times you watch something and you feel whole, you feel full. You're like, when you watch shows on Netflix or on whatever, and you watch one episode and you're like, okay, I need more, I need more. They use that to keep you hooked, right? But there are some shows where you watch them and you're like, okay, that's enough for today. I've had enough, like that was good. And for me, Law and Order is that show. Like I can watch one and I'm like, okay, I'm full. I've gone through an entire emotional journey. I'm full now. Thanks. I'll come back next time. And those I find to be a lot more satisfying because you're not just, binge watching because you want to get to the end. You're actually experiencing something, going on a full cathartic journey, and then you get to think about what you've just seen. And that's what Kylie gave us in this video. She didn't leave us hanging. She established it with the wide establishing shot, went in for the close-up on the main character, which is herself. Then she went to the bad guy, the fake Kylie. And then she revealed what they were fighting over, her image, the girl in the silver dress. And then at the end, she wins, and she shows us how she won. And it's so beautiful when you see artists still putting in the efforts to tell stories and to give you a part of what they think. Give you a look into their world and what they're about at the moment. And it's really, really fascinating that, in this day and age, you would think a lot of people would even know what semiotics is, but outside of like the CIA, I doubt any, and marketing, obviously, nobody really knows what semiotics is. So when people always ask me, "Oh, what did you major in? What did you study?" It's so difficult to explain because you want to give them an answer they understand, but at the same time, if you say semiotics, then their eyes glaze over and it's difficult to understand. Somebody asked me, because I was invited to speak at the biggest semiotics festival conference in the world last year, and I was getting my documents done, and somebody asked me, "Oh, what are you going?" I'm like, "Oh, I'm going to the semiotics festival, whatever." They're like, "Oh, what's semiotics?" I'm like, it's this thing where you make meaning, and you figure out symbols, and they're like, I'm like, I can't explain it, and she's like, well, how are you going to speak at the conference if you can't even explain it? But you know what I mean? When you're on the spot, it's difficult to explain. And so the way I explain it now is I always just say, look, you know how you watch a movie and you can remember a line that one of the characters said in the film. You can remember that for years, but you can't remember anything you learned in math class. That's semiotics. Because that scene where you heard that line was crafted in such a way that it made an impression on you. Because that's what we do. We are literally tasked with making impressions. So, when a script is done, it comes to the semioticians, us, and then what we do is we go through the entire script and we build a psychological profile for everyone in the script. And then, no, it gets more. Then, based on that psychological profile, we have to build the world of those characters through their costume, their makeup, and their styling throughout the movie. So if a character is happy in the beginning of the film, we have to use all of our tricks to show that they are happy and that they want to be in love. We have to show their state of mind, their motivation, their aspiration. What do they want to do? What is their goal? We have to show all of that. And then as the story progresses, we have to progress with that change so that as the movie's going, you notice the change happening. And it's based on color theory and psychology. It's based on a whole bunch of stuff. It's a lot. But everything I do on Scribblebytes is a reflection of that, because when I do characters, oh, when he wears this, he's playing Night Game guy. When he wears red, he's playing the rebel guy. When he wears the hat, he's playing the actor. And in my research document, I break it all down into more detail as well, where the beanie, that's the universal symbol of actors. They always wear beanies. I even have like a whole thing of Brad Pitt, Johnny Depp, Ben Affleck, all these actors, and then me in the middle, and we're all wearing the same beanie. um it's you have to understand, we get bombarded with so many images every day that I believe you have to understand how to read images, or else you won't know when people are trying to trick you, to sell you, to give you a real experience, an escapist experience, or if they're lying to you. And we all know that, a lot of people get rich off you not knowing what's happening in the world of images. And so if you learn what images are and what symbols and signs, identifiers, signifiers, empty signifiers, what all of that stuff means, then you'll be able to understand the intentions of the people who are giving you images. And so if you enjoyed this video, I really suggest you look up a character video I did as Charlie Manor, the actor, where I made a song with Ray J. That was fun. Just to keep this whole Kylie Minogue theme going, I made a song with Ray J over here. And it's a silly song, really stupid, but the whole point of it is to show how the people, like the fake Kylie, operate. And if you want to see how that works, then go to that video where you will see my character Charlie, the one who wears this hat. He had a sex tape scandal, and he used that to promote the song he did with Ray J. And the whole point of that is to show how images, have you ever noticed when a celebrity is about to launch something, they have a scandal? So I also showed you a scandal where I was on the news. Well, not me. Charlie was on the news for a sex tape scandal, and then to promote the song. So it all works. It's all hustle. It's all a con. Not all of it, because sometimes it's art. And at Scribblebytes, it's always art. We don't judge people either way, what they do. We just artify it. We just artify life. Yeah. So go watch those. And this is super meta, because now people are going to be like, well, who's talking to us now? Is this Charlie? Who is talking to us? It's surreal, like Kylie's video. I'm talking to myself. You're not even watching this. I'm here by myself, talking to myself. Think about that for a minute.